Good morning.
Warning, warning, warning.
Hello, Robinson.
Alright, welcome everybody to the 4th official ESO Sinister Swarm Chapter Guild meeting. It is May 10th. It's great to see everyone here. Thank you very much for being patient with the whole formation thing and such. And let's get started. We'll go right into Splint.
Thank you, Killer Silicon Hobbit. As many of you know, this is my favorite portion of the meeting always. I love handing out promotions, especially to those of you that are putting yourselves out there on the forums, also being active in game and in event, becoming an active member of the community. It's awesome to have you all here. That being said, let's dive right into it. First of all, we're going to go through the promotions from newbie to worker bee. I'm going to handle these in a lump, and then when we get to the promotions up to worker bee, I'm going to give you a good 2 seconds to respond, with a hey, yo, present, whatever, so we can get your soldier bee test of knowledge. Just be sure to speak up, and that's for the soldier bees. Alright, graduating from newbie to worker bee, we have... Let's see. Zericious, Hoaxeer, Figment, Dane Bramage, Wonder, Kaizens. Congratulations to our newest worker bees.
Woohoo!
Alright. Congrats, guys. Our next section is the promotion from worker bee to soldier bees, and like I said, I'm going to give a little bit of gap in between each one of these. If you are present, speak up so we can get your soldier bee test of knowledge out and get you promoted right now and here. First up is Dragon Reborn.
Here.
Cool. Alright, Dragon Reborn. Seeing how King Zodson has graced us with his presence, is the highest ranking official here, other than King Zood. We will get him to start off your Soldier Bee test of knowledge. Please be aware that this is an open book test coming out of the critical info section of our forums. At the very least, it shows that you know how to read the forums. At the very most, it means you have no life and read the forums as much as Splint does. King Zodson, first question.
Are you ready for your first questions?
Yeah.
Your first question is, tell me about dissension and what ultimately we would do with those who try to disrupt our 14-year history of the blood, sweat, and tears that members poured into the community that makes the community what it is today. So I just want to know, what do we feel about dissension?
You won't tolerate it because we're supposed to be a community. We're not supposed to make anyone feel excluded, and ultimately that person will be kicked from the guild.
That answer is correct. That answer is acceptable. Pretty much, yeah. Like it's already been said, a lot of members have put blood, sweat, and tears into this community to make the community the way it is. Yeah, and pretty much we'll just kind of walk you and your group, if there is a group that's actually gone on with that. Put you on a bridge, on a rope bridge with swarmers on both sides, and burn the bridge and watch you fall to your bottomless chasm, never to return.
That's a colorful analogy. For your next question,
Much more.
Go ahead.
But next question.
Cool. For our next question, I'd like to turn it over to, let's see here. Silicon Hobbit, would you like to take the second question?
I gotta pass because I'm working on something else at the moment.
Okay. Let's see here. How about Duke Dracon? Can you handle that one?
suppose I can. In your own words, describe to me a Law 3.
Law 3 to me means pretty much knowing the chain of command. So, when you have a problem, knowing who to go to first. For instance, if you have a question about something, not going straight to the highest authority if you don't need it. For instance, if it's just a question about the guild, you can normally go to someone like a Soldier Bee. But if you need something else like an invite for somebody, then Killer Bee. If you have a problem with the Killer Bee, then you would go and ask the next up rank, not just jumping straight to the top.
Thank you, sir.
Very good. And for your last and final question, I'm going to throw it over to Corred. If he's not AFK. Alright. I guess he may not be here. For your final question, why is Rule 1 so important? Or Law 1, as the case may be, sorry.
I guess the biggest thing is because we're not just a guild. Everybody's treated like family, and we don't want anyone to feel like they're being excluded or made fun of in any way, because we're here to work together and help each other, not to not do that.
That's partially right. Also, another big part of that for us is, I know all the officers feel this way, and I'm pretty sure most of the membership does too. We feel that our actions, being respectful, our respectful actions directly reflect on people who may view you. So if they actually did have name tags that showed guild, they would know that, oh, those Sinister Swarm guys, they're not going to go try and steal my treasure chest as I'm fighting this mob. They're not going to go stealing this node while I'm clearing trash, or I'm not going to steal this quest objective to me because I'm doing this. And we definitely feel, as members of this community, that our actions reflect how other people view you, just how your actions reflect how other people view us. And we always try to maintain that respectful air. There's a reason why it's law number 1, and it's definitely the foundation for the Sinister Swarm. On that note, I would like to say congratulations to our newest Soldier Bee, Dragon Reborn. Congratulations, sir.
Guts.
Hey, congrats, Dragon. Woohoo!
Congrats, Dragon.
Guts.
Next up for embarrassment/fun, Shmanu. Isn't sound like they're here. We also have some other people. Pardon me?
He is. He's in bed. He's 4 people above you, 5 people above.
Well, speak up.
And he attempted to speak and couldn't for whatever reason.
You broke his vent, Dracon.
Some kind of battleship.
Is it working now?
There we go.
Yes.
I apologize, my cat stepped on the mute button.
Uh-huh. Cat's fault. We see how it is.
Understandable.
Cool. Are you ready for your
That's incorrect.
Are you ready
That's
for
incorrect. It's not the cat's fault. It's Lavem's fault.
Are you ready for your Soldier B test of knowledge, sir?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Alright, awesome. Just 1 second. For your first question, when was the Sinister Swarm founded and what was its first official chapter?
I know it was 14 years ago. Is that close, or do you want the exact date?
I would settle for the year, but 14 years ago works. And the first official chapter?
It's Pong.
Ah, here it is, 7/18/2011.
And the first official chapter?
Uh,
Cheat. Ever.
it couldn't have been Ultima. Later on, EverQuest.
Is that your official answer, sir?
Yeah.
Alright. Awesome. Congrats on your first question. Second question. Name 3 of the initial founding members of the Sinister Swarm.
Let's see, it was Venom.
There's a link to help you.
And I'm looking through the history. Terminator, Viper, Wolfie.
Alright. Congratulations. Yeah, and Stymie. Absolutely. They were all present for the dawn of the Sinister Swarm back in 1999. And for our last question, let's see. Can I tap to do this? How about... Kiara, you're here. Would you like to ask a question?
I'll let you go with an easy one. What ranks... Name 3 ranks higher than a Soldier Bee.
Oh, there's a Knight. Killer Bee. And, of course, the Duke.
You, sir, are correct.
Well, on that, congratulations, Shimani. Our newest Soldier Bee in the Sinister Swarm. Congratulations, sir.
Ah, thank you, thank you.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
GG.
These people were not present at last week's meeting for promotions. If they can get with an officer, we will take care of your promotions after this meeting. They did not become eligible this week. They were eligible last week. But get a hold of an officer and we'll take care of your Soldier Bee test of knowledge and all of that. The members are Akari, Kaylin, Monstars, Arcadius, and Satari. So if those members can get a hold of an officer sometime this week, we'll take care of your Soldier Bee test of knowledge and get you guys promoted up to the rank of Soldier Bee. I've taken up enough of your time, and I'd like to pass it off to King Zodson.
Hail, Swarmers!
Hail Swarm!
Hail Swarm!
Hail!
Hell.
This, well, I'm only going to talk about a brief topic. the idea of Sinister Swarm is that we are a community. We're a community kind of gaming community. So one of the things that we try to do is support one another, which goes along with Tripod. That's members participating in events and the likes, whether it be PvE, PvP, somewhere in between, whatever the case may be. We need members to participate. Just like these meetings that we have every week. This is part of those participations. And if members need help, you don't have to look for the member who is asking for help. You can always just offer the help. Think of offering help as a way of saying thank you for allowing me to be in such a great guild or a great chapter. I'm like, people say that members always tell me from time to time, man, you have a fantastic chapter here. I don't know where I would have been if I didn't find you guys. Don't tell me, show me. Show me by helping the next person. At the very least, because in the end, it's unacceptable for any of us. It should be unacceptable. It should be like what's the best way to put that? It should be like someone clunking us in the head when members are struggling trying to get to the level that they're trying to get to, and they ain't getting the help that they want, even if they don't ask for it. Sometimes members don't want to ask. They just want the help. And if somebody asks for help, it should be people just banging down the door like with a battering ram trying to give that member help. I'm like, that's what we're all about. It's people over pixels. And I think that's about it. That's all I have to say about that part. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Hobbit.
And Zod leads me right into my first topic, and that's paying attention to guild chat. Now, all of us, we're out there doing our own thing a lot of the time. Sometimes we're grouping together as well. And it can be difficult to pay attention to guild chat, especially when it fades out so often. I kind of find it a pain in the butt myself. I like to see chat all the time, whether it's guild chat, zone chat, or whatever. But one of the things that we need to try to do a little bit better is pay attention to guild chat. I'm definitely a culprit here a lot of times when I'm doing my own thing. I'm not seeing things in guild chat. I've got to work on that, and I'm hoping everyone else can work on that as well, because we do have players who are asking questions or looking for help, or maybe they need something crafted and everything. And we don't want to make it seem like we're alienating those members by not responding in guild chat. Now, not everyone's going to be talking in Vent, and we're not all going to be in the same channel as well, like we are now. So it behooves us to, kind of pay attention to guild chat a little bit more, look down every once in a while, see if we can see someone asking the questions or needing some help, that sort of thing. And even if we don't have the proper answer, we can say, I don't know that, or if we know someone who does have the answer, Silicon Hobbit can answer that, or Splint can answer that, or that sort of thing, at least direct someone if they have a question or they need some help or something, that sort of thing. So that way, we're not making people feel like they're being alienated, like they're left out in the cold, because it's, we're a big family here. We want to help out everybody as much as we can. And paying attention to guild chat is a big part of that. Next thing I want to go into is our crafting and guild hoarding program. I'm going to put up a link in chat real quick. This is the current project that we have for hoarding. As everyone starts getting higher and higher and closer to veteran content, we're looking to save as much stuff as we can. Obviously, we want to save as much stuff as we can throughout all the levels, but the veteran content is going to be important as well, because everyone's going to start looking for armor and gear and weapons and such. And even beyond that, up to Vet 10, we're going to want to start crafting armor and gear and such for people who are going to be going into the adventure zones and the Vet 10 Craglorn area and such. So If you have anything that you can spare, or if you feel like going out and doing a crafting gathering run, just either toss things into the guild bank or send it off to Bhutan or myself or Dracon or whatever, and we can get that stuff banked and saved for use later on. The next link is the Google Doc spreadsheet that we have for all the crafters in the guild currently, that we have listed there. It'll give you the main crafters list. At the first tab, you've got requests, and then you've got a tab for blacksmithing, clothing, woodworking, so on and so forth. Each one of those tabs is going to give you an idea of who can create what traits, that sort of thing. The style motif tab, who has those particular styles for the craft that they're doing, and at the last tab is the crafting altars for those of you interested in having set pieces made, where the crafting altars are located and what those particular sets do. And last but not least, thank you again for getting information like this and allowing me to take a few screenshots. After the meeting, I'm going to be posting on the Guild Spotlight thread that's on the ESO forums. ZeniMax is currently taking people who are pretty much, touting their guild, that sort of thing. It's not necessarily a guaranteed thing that you'll be on the front page, but I figure we get some good screenshots up there and we get a good description of the guild, we might be able to get some Guild Spotlight loving up there, and it'll be a good recruitment tool. So let me see if I can get that thread. And that link right there is the thread to the official ESO forums for the Guild Spotlight that they're doing. So, and I'm finished, so I will pass it back to Splint.
Thank you, Silicon Hobbit. And I'm going to be a little bit long-winded, so I apologize, but I'm going to dive into the whole PvE progression and our plans for PvE, our stance on PvE, pretty much everything PvE as far as the guild is concerned. So, a lot of us, well, I wouldn't say a lot of us, a good number of us are starting to hit the veteran ranks, and that's all well and good. However, there are a large majority of people who are still leveling, and that's awesome. First and foremost, we want to tell you that we encourage you to take your time, enjoy it, stop and smell the roses. I assure you they smell and look beautiful. This game is amazing. I probably have over 15 days played on my main character, not to mention alts. And I've had a blast doing it because I take my time and I enjoy it. And I just have more time than most to actually apply towards that. So don't ever feel that the guild is leaving you behind, because that is not the case. I know firsthand on Thursday I spent pretty much the majority of the day on my Vet 6 doing like level 30 content, 40 content, 50 up to 50 content, helping people out, getting various things done. And I'm happy to do so, and I'm sure all the other vets feel the same way. Just because we're at vet ranks, do not feel that you need to be at vet ranks. We also did an impromptu survey this morning amongst all the guild members who are in Vent, and the vast majority of you seem to want to do more organized dungeon groups over organized leveling groups. And that's great. I still encourage you guys to do organized leveling groups because you get more experience and better loot. The system literally is designed to reward you for grouping. But if you guys don't want to do that, I can kind of understand, but you really should, because it's so much better as a group. You can just blow through content much, much faster. To aid me in getting dungeon groups more organized until we can actually get some kind of set rotation going, I'm going to tap Razor Eve and Gimmick to help me as far as making sure that we get some organized dungeon runs going at least 3 days a week, if not 5. I don't want to interfere with the PvP side of things, because I definitely encourage you guys to get out there in Cyrodiil and have a blast. I mean, that's one of the biggest draws to this, is the huge open world combat. So I would definitely encourage you guys to be active in the PvP portion of things. Cragmorn and Trials, the raid content that's supposed to come out this week. There are not 12 of us that are at Vet 10 or higher, or Vet 10, so for doing that raid content. That being said, there will be. We'll take our time, we'll enjoy it, and we'll do it as a group. I never want you guys to feel that you have to have X amount of levels in order to be part of the guild, because that's not the case. I never want you to feel you have to have X build in order to be part of the guild, because that is not the case. The only requirement to be part of this guild and community is that you guys have fun and that you help each other out. So that being said, I really am disheartened when I hear people say that, oh, I feel like I'm being left behind. You're never being left behind. Myself, I'm sure all the other officers feel that they're more than willing and happy to help you guys out. When Cragmorn and Trials comes out, there are 9 personal dungeons. They are 4-man dungeons. They are instanced to the group that goes in, so you can literally have 2 4-man groups doing races through dungeons and stuff like that, which is absolutely cool. You can literally 2 groups can go into the same dungeon, have your little race, and that's great. It's Vet 10 gear. You're going to be getting veteran rank points out of it, and we absolutely encourage you guys to do that. However, do not lose sight of the people who are leveling. It's our job as the people who have leveled up to help them have a fun time and make sure that they can get to the same content that we're at, because together it's much more fun than just by ourselves. I'm sure all of you can attest to that. That's pretty much the standard that we have for PvE content at this moment. I've talked with Dracon about the matter, and I am not a big fan of static groups at all. In fact, if anything, I was notorious for crushing them in Neverwinter, and I don't really feel that we should be doing a static group for these 4 people always run together. These 4 people run together. These 4 people run together. That being said, I don't have a problem with like these 2 people grab these 2 people this week, and then these 2 people grab these 2 people this week, and we get some kind of semi-rotation going. I think that can do nothing but help us, because it will help us all get used to each other's play styles as well. That is the current standard for PvE that we have planned and set. If you have questions, comments, concerns about them, please, by all means, you can send me a PM in Vent, you can send me a PM in forums, you can even send me an email. It's swin@sinisterswarm.com. I'll be more than happy to field those questions for you guys. And that's pretty much the state of affairs as far as PvE goes right now. So that being said, I will pass it back over to King Zodson.
Corred, actually.
Corred, I'm sorry.
It's all good, I wasn't supposed to be here and I am, so. Alright, just, wow, I just looked over at the vent. It's, quite impressive, the channel we got going right now. Give a big hail swarm to that.
Hail
swarm!
Hail swarm! Hail swarm!
Speaking of the main lobby, just what I'm going to cover really quickly is the main lobby. I like to think of it as more of a sanctuary where you can come to hang out and feel comfortable, and everybody here's positive attitude. If you want to talk about something a little more personal, or you want to kind of vent a little bit about something that's going on in your life, we ask you to just drop down to another channel, grab somebody that's willing to listen to you, and use them as a soundboard, as I use that term a lot. Use them as a sounding board, and if they have any insight, they can help you out. If you're having really bad personal issues, I shouldn't be jumping into the lobby to say hello and then have to wait 45 minutes because I don't want to interrupt some really personal, deep, emotional conversation that's going on in the main lobby. And that's all I got on that. Questions, concerns, comments, complaints?
My computer left me for another user.
Alright, so we're going to do a giveaway, but before we do the giveaway, we're actually going to do question comments. So if you guys have any questions, do /raise in the Ventrilo chat. If you're not already in Ventrilo chat, please join. For whatever reason, some people can't hear me, so Hobbit is going to repeat what I said.
This is question and comment period. So if you have any questions or comments, put a /raise in vent chat, and we'll get to you. Northblade, go ahead.
Okay. C'est plus yeah, so it's more like a request. I'm halfway through Rift Zone, so if some of you want to team up or join for the rest of the quest, or even start the zone, poke me.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Zood, you're up.
Thanks. First, a comment just on the vent stuff that Corrid was speaking about. I mean, we are a community, and we definitely want people to, develop friendships, and you have friends here. There's going to be things you want to talk about, but the point is just, there's some conversations that are probably best in a private channel. Second question I had was on sending materials to the crafters. At this point, do crafters still need lower level materials, say like, 1 through 20 or 1 through 40 type materials?
Yes, I do.
Absolutely, yes. Not only are we crafting stuff for other lower level members that aren't doing those particular crafts, or might have a craft other than the armor or weapons that they're using, everyone's still trying to get their skill up as well. So, the more crafts that we have that we can send to people or trade off items to deconstruct, the better.
Yeah, the only portion that we're doing for the hoarding portion is the high-end stuff, and that's really just to make profit for the guild and for the members. The rest of the stuff we are hoarding as well for crafter.
I see. Thank you.
Spooky, you're up.
I never asked this before, but why is it called tripod? I know what it means, but why the name?
Zood can explain that best because it's really his euphemism.
Yeah, there's a post I can link in chat in just a minute, but essentially it's sort of the 3 pillars of our community. If you think about it, we're all grouped together, we're in game, so that's definitely one aspect, is the in-game participation, getting together, doing things. But then we also have the Ventrilo voice chat, which is, definitely helps us coordinate and, get to know one another. Hear people's voices, you can talk to people. It's a lot more personal than what you would see as in guild chat or in a game chat. And then the third area is the forums. And of course, the forums allows us to share a lot of information, communicate, stuff about future events, or you can look up with information about past events, technical details about game systems and quest guides and all kinds of other guides and that kind of thing. And so those 3 areas are kind of like 3 legs of a tripod. And together, that is really what makes us a great community. So that, it's not just about, being in game, which you might see with other guilds or other games. How's that?
That's great. Thank you.
Is that Spooky? That answer your questions?
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking of when I heard tripod, I wasn't thinking of for example, a camera tripod. So I wasn't really fluent on that part. Makes more sense.
Yeah, quite literally like a camera tripod. So without one leg, this tripod can't stand.
Sounds good.
Corred, you're up.
Alright, thank you. What I want to mention is, I've heard this a lot. For those leveling enchanting is extraordinarily difficult to get the points in. And every time I've asked if anybody needs an enchant, I keep hearing, I don't want to waste your time, I don't want to waste your mats. But unless you're wasting my mats or asking for an enchant, I'm not going to be able to level it. Now that being said, I can now make Vet 10 enchants because I grinded through it with the help of all you great people sending me enchants to break down. But now that we're trying to get a couple more people, if you need an enchant, hit up an enchanter that's on the crafting list. For the most part, all of us are hoarding mats, just waiting for somebody to ask us for an enchant that we can make. So before you go to the vendor and waste your gold, hit up the enchanters in the guild, and you'd be surprised what we can make you. That's it.
Sorry, for the enchanting, the thing that you just talked about, we can see the name of the guy to contact in the Excel sheet that you, the link that you gave, right?
Yes, on the very first tab, you can look down the list of enchanters, and you can see who has what.
Alright.
Oh, and in regards to crafting as well, I'm going to put in a link in chat. This is to the Forge, section that Splint and I created. We're both master heavy armor crafters, so if you need anything made in heavy armor or heavy weapons, hit us up in game or in that forum section, and we'll get that stuff made for you. Did we already hit Shimano?
No, go ahead, grab it.
I
You're up,
was just
Shimano.
wondering, but thank you. I was just wondering, nobody brought up PvP today. I was just wondering what our goals were there.
Our PvP leader is always going to be gone on Saturday, so it's hard for me to speak for him. Our biggest primary goal right now is, I don't really care if you're level 10 or level, V10. PvP can be enjoyable and fun for everybody. We're going to be sticking to, especially now that my schedule has changed, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be our major PvP nights. Tuesday and Thursday will be the nights where we focus on just doing PvP. So that's raiding, killing, destroying everything in our path. And then Wednesday will be the PvPvE, which will be going through and doing the dungeons and sky shards in there for those people who haven't and those people who don't enjoy PvP that way. And I would ask that anyone who is all about PvP join us on Wednesday night as well to guard the people who don't like PvP. Just because there are seriously people who cannot stand PvP, they don't know up or down, so they get into a fight and they just freeze and there are people to protect them. And then it is on the calendar. We're gonna have to rework the calendar and get that going. As Coral will be stepping away for active duty here soon. And we need volunteers kind of with that. Anyone who wants to do some of the forum side technical stuff could help us. That would be great. And I cannot give you a direct time right now because I already have like 10 windows open and 3 kids that are yelling at me. I believe it starts at like 4 p.m. BST though, and then roll until everyone passes out on those days.
Sounds good. Yeah, I went last week. It was a lot of fun.
And then we try and leave weekends more loose at this point, as everyone progresses in leveling, things like that. We always do an event after the meeting. Today, I don't know we'll have any PvP today, because neither Potamus or Chief Sean are around, which are our main PvP leaders. If one of the other Killer Bees or Knights wants to step up and do that, awesome. And we'll be doing a PvE zone clear here in this zone. And Lorak, you had a question.
Yeah, I just got a quick question for people that might know more about Cragborn than I do. I know I keep hearing Brandon about, for Vet 10, but I thought I heard them say that you can enter Cragborn at Vet 1. I don't know if you'd be able to do any of the dungeons or anything, but it might be worth getting the vet group in to go in and try a quest to see how it goes and what drops.
Want me to take that one?
Yes.
Alright. We have not had any hands-on experience with Kragmorn, so we really can't tell you from first-hand experience. It's all hearsay at this point. I've seen tons of videos, screenshots, yada yada yada, but it's all developers running it. I've heard that there's daily quests out there, just like there is in Cyrodiil. Again, cannot confirm nor deny. I was told that the raid is definitely vet 10 to 12, and that the dungeons were vet 10. Again, it was secondhand off of a podcast where I heard it. You know, generally speaking, their information is usually very reliable. I don't know until it goes live because they've been known to change things from time to time. So that's kind of where I'm at as far as Kragmorn goes. We will definitely have people out there exploring it as soon as it goes live.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I know all the kind of instanced and dungeon stuff's all vet 10 to lead you to vet 12. I just didn't know if anybody heard that if the quest or anything would actually have some decent drops for the guild at vet 1 or vet 2.
The quests are nothing but experience. The drops actually come out of the individual dungeons, and it should be vet 10 gear to help you with the raid so you can complete the raid, which you should get the vet points in the dungeon and in the raid in order to get to vet 12. The vet 10 to 12 is a grind. As far as either raiding and or dungeons in Kragmorn. As best I know. Again, second-hand knowledge, no first-hand experience. We'll definitely get in there as soon as it comes live.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so any other questions before we close and go to the quiz and giveaway?
Just a comment real quick. If you're digging and rummaging around your packs or looking at the map, stop for just a moment so I can take one more guild pick.
Stop rummaging in your sacks. Ridiculous of you to do things while we're having
Nightbane. It's like you got a bottomless pit in that bag there, Nightbane.
It's a bag
Razor.
of holding. Leave him alone.
You might be AFK.
Do you want me to stop saluting?
Never.
Well, Grim, if you show up at the meeting location right now, you can get in on the picture.
What kind of magic is this picture taking? Alteration?
Illusion. Maybe abjuration.
Farleth show up yet?
Oh yeah, I'm in the back.
No, don't play music. Razor, are you back yet?